Welcome back to Building the Market Narrative. We're going to review price action and look and see if we have any opportunities for this week here, this coming week. We want to do a few things first, which is check Forex Factory and look and see if there's any upcoming news. So the first thing here, Forex Factory, I go to filter, I check none, then I choose USD. I uncheck the gray and yellow, and I only keep the orange and the red. Click apply. We have it here. Just drop down that arrow there, so we can see we have high impact news on Tuesday. Nothing on tomorrow. High impact news on Tuesday. PPI on Wednesday. 8:30 to 10. You have moderate news on Thursday and Friday. Then you can do the next thing, which is go to Twitter or x.com, earning whispers, see what type of earnings, who's reporting this week and when. So we have after the close here on Monday, blah, 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 right? Citibank, Goldman Sachs is reporting, right? Wells Fargo, Bank of America. Those are things you probably want to, if you're into that, you probably want to look into. Honestly, probably should have set a position already, but if you are a day trader, you probably can look and see some opportunities there. Johnson & Johnson reporting, BlackRock, Progressive. I don't know about this one, but BlackRock, Johnson & Johnson, maybe Cintas, JB Hunt, is that a trucking company? Another bank. A lot of banks. Netflix. Yeah, that's how I do. See if there's any anything that could influence price action. And looks like a lot of big fish is maybe reporting this week here. All right, you just stop by, look and see weekly chart. We are in the consolidation. The YM is all-time highs here. Everything's technically all-time highs, but you can clearly see it's a consolidation. This is a volume imbalance here. I'm going to include a fair value gap, throw everything in there. You got to paint that green, light green, take off the extension. It's a weekly level, and we also have this volume imbalance up here. I'll make that blue. Say if I can find this here, make that blue. And we also have these highs here. You have this high and this high remaining. But yeah. Interesting. All right, similar situation here. And then Q, volume imbalance. Oh, skip that one. Let's use this one here. Volume imbalance with price already traded into. And we have this similar situation with the volume imbalance. And so here to here, volume imbalance, include the whole fair value gap. That's that. Leave it at green. All right, so gotta use the wicks as well instead of the fair value gap. You kind of, some people don't use it after it's been traded into. They don't use it again. With that logic, you wouldn't use this midway point. You don't have to. You can use a wick instead. Treat wicks like gaps. And so this tells a story. And this is this ran this high, previous week's high. This open here ran the previous week's high, then drop down. And you can, it's like nothing up there, right? So here's the wick. I just need to flip that. I can't. All right. So we're ready. So this is a false breakout here. We already probably retested the high, retested this high here. So we held at the last quarter, right? Last quarter of this wick here. And we can see what happens there. Let me have this volume imbalance here. All right. That's the weekly for you. I'm going to drop straight down to the 4-hour. Straight down to the 4-hour. Look like the chart got chicken pox, huh? All right, let's turn some of this stuff off. This is the news. The black dots are indicated that I've been working on. Looked like it wasn't working on the weekly chart, which is something I need to figure out. But anyway, solid black dots, and we have the hollow dots. So solid black means like two held. See, the YM says the YM swept, ES and Q held. This one's gonna say, see, the ES and Q swept, the YM held, right? So that's a 4-hour chart. You can see price held above the midway point. Also this 4-hour fair value gap. And so we want to see what happens here. We do have, you can see for yourself, because this is the NQ 4-hour and the YM, and we can see what they talking about here. ES swept. Okay, so definitely the ES. The ES ran the previous week's high. You can see that right here. The NQ didn't. The YM did. Right? And where's this dot over there in YM? And you can also see here YM didn't as well. So NQ didn't. The YM ran this previous week's high, but it didn't run the intra-week high here. This didn't run the intra-week high as well, nor the previous week's high. This ran the intra-week. This ran the previous week's high, not the intra-week high, right? The high of the week. This did. So right now, the ES is the only one showing some degree of strength. This is, and the NQYM are both showing weakness. And I think this is what I intended. So I can see this on the ES without necessarily having to always run back or monitor all the charts at one time. Just see this here and then kind of go and tap in if I wanted to. All right, so these are weak. We got a purge here below these lows here. We have a purge over here, purge here. We have a purge here, purge here. And it's like, what am I talking about, right? All right, so he ran. So this is an intra-week low, not the previous week's low. Previous week's low would be down here. We can turn on this. Well, turn it on later. All right, so we ran this low, this sell side. We ran this high here. That would be a market structure shift. And retrace into this fair value gap here. Violated bullish fair value gap. Next, keep it original color. You can make it lighter to like not make it stand out as much. And so it's violated, it's inverted. pull bearish fair value gap, and you can see how price is kind of like wick, bust through, retest, wick down, retesting the market structure shift. This swing, this swing highs, relative highs right here, as well as the midway point of this fair value gap. So then it took out the high. It took out this high, took out that high, and to make it snap like this, you could like, so one, I got the weak magnet on to make it snap there, and then also I'll just hold the shift key. It's a Windows computer, so I just hold the shift key and it snaps and makes it straight. Let's change that to blue. So this is the range, that price false breakout. Below here, we have a divergence here as well. NQ swept the lows. NQ ran the previous week's low. And the ES and the YM didn't. Right, we can see that clearly. All right, so I just did this yesterday, and this indicated yesterday, and kind of like fine-tuned it today. So anyway, let's see. So we have that. So we want to see price retest the break here. We got a bullish fair value gap here as well. Honestly, with all of these 4-hour levels, I would delete this. I don't need to see it on this time frame. But if price breaks below here, then we can say, all right, because what tends to happen is that price goes from, you can do internal range liquidity to external range liquidity, or you can say also that price goes from one fair value gap to another fair value gap, or you can say it goes from a swing low to a swing high, right? Or a pivot low, pivot high, however you want to call it. It's just a matter of being consistent with whatever you choose, right? So we have a break here. We have a tiny, this is a nice range here. Looks like price may want to come back here. We have this imbalance, we have this imbalance, we have this imbalance, all like in the same area. So this is why this would stand out to me. So that's been violated. It's been retested here, pushed up, pulled back, and the body stayed above this violated bearish fair value gap. If you don't want to do that, you can just use this big old wick right here. Let's see what that looks like. Right, so you can just use the wick and then use these as levels. All right, so here won't necessarily be looking for a trade until price actually runs this high here. We have this violated bullish fair value gap. So when price gets up here, whether you see it as a external range liquidity, you can see if price is going to hold above or below this level. Same deal with this weekly level. But so here, so what's going on here? This tells us that the ES ran these highs. And the NQ and the NQ and the YM didn't. All right, but here price ran the previous week's high. This is the momentum leg or the impulse price leg. There's a market structure shift technically here. We can count here as well. So we look for a retracement from discount to premium here. I think this is, you can use the wick to wick. I'm going to use the body here and the low wick. So there's two long wicks. I don't use both. I decide one or the other. This one ran sell side here. This one ran buy side. So you got a high, low. You want to look for a lower low. We have a balanced price range right here. So you want to see what price does in there. Let's paint that like that's the zone. And let's do this. Ooh, that's rich. All right. There that go. And that's how that works, right? Why did I do that? We also have a high, low, higher high. We have a breaker in here. I don't necessarily trade breakers. You have a volume imbalance here. That may be a trigger, cause some type of reaction. But I'll be looking for here. Just turn on. I'll be looking for price to trade into this area here on the YM, and then some degree of some selling here. YM possibly trading back into here. Who knows, right? Maybe take out these relative equal lows here. We got a bearish fair value gap that's been violated right here. Why did I choose that? Because you can see that price reacted to it here, here. Well, let me see. All right, you can see that price reacted to it here, reacted to it here and here, reacted to it here and here and here, reacted to it here. This long wick kind of went back close below the 50%, and then shot through it again, went right back inside of it. Here, and here. So yeah, we'll be looking at this level to see if it holds again. And I'm gonna erase this because that's noise. So we got we have two assets saying that they didn't want to go higher. So we want to see what price does here. Maybe I'll take out this previous week's high here, then continue here. Is there's no, right now there's no market structure shift. There's no change in the state of delivery. It price rebalance this price range here, showing the willingness to go higher. So that's that. And here I'll be looking right here, see what price does with this fair value gap. Here, market opens up in a few minutes. All right, so I'll be looking here. It's not a balanced price. Well, it technically is, because you have upside action, downside, upside, downside. So it is balanced already. You want to look and see if price trades into here. Maybe run this high. Got another inverted bullish fair value gap here. Let's see what happens there. Yeah, I'm looking here because this was a balanced price range. So this may be a better level than this here. Let's see. Yeah. So it doesn't say like, doesn't mean like price wasn't reacting to this one, but it's also reacting to this one as well. All right, I'm gonna erase this one. It's getting kind of noisy. All right, so we only have two weekly levels here. Right, so that's that. It'd be nice. Let's see what happens, man. Is price gonna gap up, hold above? So yeah, price can come down, eat this tail. Needs to. Everybody got a tail. All right. Yeah, the capitulating or consolidating at the midway point of the volume imbalance here. See what happens there. Yeah. So looks like above here, above this previous Asia range, this may be a completion of a market maker buy model up here. This one looks like it's pretty much completed here. Doesn't mean it can't go higher and complete a different one. This one is definitely completed. Doesn't mean it can't continue. So all of this is done. Look, that right there. So we're gonna see. You can actually delete this and this work off of this wick. Put that into quarters if you wanted to. Same here. All right, so that's the previous day's high. This is Thursday, previous day's high, Thursday. But we want to see how price reacts today and tomorrow within Friday's price action, Friday's range. What happens there? The high, the low. That can be the upper 20-30% of that range as well. See what happens really on Thursday's high. Its price kind of comes back down. Its price going to hold above Thursday's high. Or is it going to continue to take out Monday's high, which I would like to see that. That's all I got. I want to talk more, but I need to trust myself, like we all do, right? Hopefully, you guys are cooking. Hopefully, this was helpful to some degree. I always highlight the Asia range. I don't need to do this, but the fact that I didn't do this right here, turn this on and have that like the vibe price itself, have that signify that this is pretty much the New York session, and this is after hours of the Asia session, including the London session, pre-market, all that stuff there. But I don't want that on the chart. I don't even want all these boxes on the chart. I'm about to delete some stuff. Probably this weekly one. I know it's there somewhere between this 4-hour one and this 4-hour one, so I don't need to see it. And same thing goes for here, between here and here. I think ICT has that PDRA event horizon. You can use that, right? Halfway through the 2 PDRAs or something. I don't think about it, to be honest. But if you did, that's fine, right? That's you, right? But yeah, almost at the previous week's weekly open. Previous weekly open is down here. Previous week's high. Weekly open. And that's this indicator that's putting that up there. Let's put the news back up. I don't know why. But yeah. So we already acknowledged that one. Yeah. Yeah, this is 1, 2, 3, possibly have it here. 1, 2, 3 drives above this high. Above this high. If you have a bearish fair value gap here, we can use price already broke above it, but doesn't matter. We have that same entry week high, previous week's high. We can use that. previous week's high, relative equal highs here. That was ran here. So yeah, I would like to see price go up and come down. That's what I want. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen. It doesn't mean I'm gonna stick to that throughout the week. But we trade what we see, not what we want, not what we want. But anyway, thank you for your time and your patience. You guys have questions, comments, or concerns? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. There I go. There I go. There I go. All right. Peace.